show, Lovecraft Country. Like we talk about that show every time I talk to you. But yeah, that. And then when you were talking about how they pick your bloodline to basically steal your rights, and that's what that show was about too. And then even the first jails with them, like them dungeons. It's so crazy how they put it back. They give us our history right back in our face and all of they outputs.
Look, if they can't guarantee your safety while you in prison, they're not supposed to keep you in prison. And guess what? They can't guarantee nobody in safety that's in there.
So how they gonna keep
that's right there alone by itself is the forfeiture of their jurisdiction as the Department of Corrections.
No, they really can't. I mean, it's it's dangerous as hell in there.
Man, motherfuckers get stabbed, raped, beat the fuck up, kicked downstairs, bopped in the head with mop handles, all kind of shit. They can't keep you safe in there.
Not at all.
You come out that motherfucker looking like a pin cushion or a pinata.
And looking 20 years older than what you was or what you are.
Yeah, you supposed to come out of prison preserved, not motherfucking stressed the fuck out worse than you was in the street.
Right. I don't wish that on nobody for real.
So the question about the umbilical cord around the neck, sometimes the baby is in the uterus is moving around, and they'll sometimes wrap the umbilical cord around the neck. So when they come out, it's wrapped around their neck from them moving in the uterus. Like I remember hearing my mom tell my father, "I'm jumping around in there like a monkey." When she was pregnant, because I was doing backflips off the side of the uterus. I was having a blast. Shit.
In the primordial water.
Yeah.
Appreciate the question, Spooky Bay. Okay. It's a good one. Let me see what this one's about.
Medusa was a Sa priestess. That's why her name is Medusa. Medu in Egypt is 10. 10 is the highest rank. Sa, look up the Sa symbol. It's the birth priestesses were Sa priestesses. So when they say Medusa, they're saying that she is the highest ranked of the Sa priestesses, which are known as the birth priestesses or the doulas. They were the Gorgon priestesses by tribal affiliation in Greece. That's what the Greeks referred to the three sisters as the Gorgons. And so Medusa is actually the leader of the Gorgon. Now we got to flip to the right side up to get to the right side of the infinity loop to ascend to the 5D.
Wow.
Right? So now we ascend to the 5D because I'm telling the motherfucker everything you need to know to get his shit straight. I don't care if they talk about me. That ain't got nothing to do with me. That's their personal problem.
That's right. That's facts.
If they really had a real issue, they'll pull the fuck up. I ain't hard to find.
Right.
I ain't ducking, I ain't hiding.
I heard
But
that.
I'm going to tell them everything they need to do to get their own shit together. This shit is over with.
Right.
But they don't got to believe me. But when they watch, they going to see.
That's right.
No doubt about it.
Right? So, Mama said the job going to be hard, but you a hard worker.
That's right.
I said, what that means? She said, you smart, you'll figure it out. So that pissed me off as usual. I ain't that smart. I know a whole bunch of motherfuckers are smarter than me. They ain't got no motherfucking Waybos though. Apparently.
I heard that.
They don't know how to put the puzzle together, apparently.
I
don't gotta be smarter than them to be skilled at putting the puzzle together.
Right.
My mama had me putting puzzles together since I could walk.
Love it.
So it's naturally like a second talent for putting together puzzles.
Right? You got to give yourself more credit than that. You got to give yourself more credit than that because there's a whole bunch of pretenders out here.
And let them keep pretending, and we gonna keep winning.
That's right.
I just be tell it like it is. I mean, shit, I can't do no more than that. I can only tell it like it is. They don't have to like it. They don't have to agree with me.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
I don't have to give a fuck, and I can continue to be right.
That's right.
And they can be wrong as they want to be.
That's right.
I don't got a problem with that. I don't got nothing to do with me. They got their own journey to walk.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they got their own mishaps to fall through.
That's real. That's real.
You know? So all you gotta do is stay true to yourself. They gonna wake up sooner or later.
That's right.
Yeah.
On one side of life. Or the other.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
You know?
Yep.
They be like them when I be nutting up on here for some reason. I don't know why I be nut up.
Send us, bro. Send the real ones. Send the real ones is something that resonates. Right or wrong.
Right.
It resonates.
Right or right.
We get a thrill out of it. And some of us think we need to suppress that all the way, but no, we got to let that stay close to us, you know? We just got to master it.
It's the gorilla key. The gorilla key is called the fuck it key.
Yep.
Yes. Love it.
Yep.
I said, Daddy, what we gonna do about the people down there? Fuck them.
Right. Right.
As long as they don't come down here, fuck them.
Right.
That's right.
They can kiss when the sun don't shine, or they can kiss the sun itself. It don't matter to me.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I just do what I do.
I love it.
I heard that.
I love it.
I heard that. You can love everybody. Try to. Like, some ain't even capable.
I ain't even try to love everybody, but I'm gonna love everybody that love me.
No, yeah, no, that's for sure. That's for sure.
All that love your enemy shit, that's mama shit. That ain't mine.
Oh no, I didn't mean that the enemy part.
But I
mean
respect
the
my adversary if he's a worthy opponent.
Right, right.
I respect my adversary if you're a worthy opponent.
You got to. You better.
But if he's just somebody that like an ankle biter chasing the mailman,
yeah.
I walk with motherfucking big dogs. That shit don't move me.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
It don't move me. My give a fuck meter just will not move for that shit.
I heard that, bro.
I love it.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Man, this is amazing.
This is really good.
Yeah. I'm truly grateful for this opportunity to sit and visit with you, my brother, for real. For real. And I want to say thank you for offering that insight to my question. You know, I mean, it just from an early child, it just resonated with me that I was in a very special place. The energy and the love, because that's where people came from around the world to experience the hospitality that we give just from our hearts, that we gave from this gentrification and doing what it's doing, you know, but it's still, even in this day and time, people still rave about
New Orleans
and how the reception that they get and how much the people love them. But the crazy part is we love the people from somewhere else more than we're going to love each other right there in our own city, you heard me?
No, don't believe that. Try to take Mardi Gras from New Orleans and see how that's all you got to do if you think I'm bullshit.
No, I get you on that. I'm just talking about on a day-to-day basis. Somebody can come from somewhere else, right? Come through the city and the people open them, take them in with open arms, feed them, drink them, whatever they're going to do, right? But they ain't got no time for somebody that sounds just like them. That might come from uptown and they come from downtown, vice versa. You feel me?
This is why. Because if your family don't fuck with you like that, they don't trust you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They don't trust you. Just because you might be from the other side of town. They want to know, nigga, why you ain't hanging out with your family, with your cousins and them?
No, that's real.
Why you over here with us?
That's real.
Y'all, you supposed to be over there with your people. Why you over here with my people? Nigga, what's your angle, nigga? Right? I don't know. Mama, I don't know if I can trust that nigga. He don't fuck with his family enough. He ain't close enough to his people, so how you can't be that close to us? You know? That's how New Orleans see past the immediate connection to the deeper connection. If your family don't trust you, my family not gonna trust you either. Right? And they get, pushed to the fringes of the family so now they trying to find somewhere else. So New Orleans know how to lead each other.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Two niggas from New Orleans can meet up in Alaska and know exactly what the fuck going on without saying a word.
No, that's real, bro. I mean, for real. That's real.
And one of them go. Now I'm gonna go. And be gone about their business. They had a whole conversation, New Orleans style.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Especially as they get older in the country.
Right.
But so when you come from out of town, you could be a wayfarer or a traveler.
Mm-hmm.
So they extend the hospitality to the outsider.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, okay.
Your hospitality first must come from you. If your family love you and be wanting you always come to shit, then they gonna all want you to come to their shit too.
Mm-hmm.
The harder your family pulling them away from you, the harder they gonna pull on you.
Mm-hmm.
But when you don't fuck with your people, they don't fuck with you. That's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And that's why you had to go learn New Orleans to know how to navigate anywhere else in the country.
I heard that. I heard that.
Everything, all of the richness of the cultures, that's the heartbeat.
Right.
The Big Easy.
Right.
That's true.
You know? All of these other cities has got different names. Chicago, the city of thieves. AKA Thebes, Egypt.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Tricky with the language. Remember we were talking about that English in the babies?
Right.
With the language.
No doubt about it.
They was telling us it's the city of thieves all the time. We was thought they were saying thieves because the motherfucker steal something.
Shit, when you first said it, that's what I thought you were saying.
Me too.
I was like, never heard that one. Yeah.
Chicago will muscle your ass before they steal it from you.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
They'll take it from you before they steal it from you.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
The same with Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
They'll take it from you before they steal it from you.
Mm-hmm.
But that don't mean they don't got some thieves.
Right.
But then you got the ones that understand that they a thief. They not small time no more.
Mm-hmm.
Like in Chicago, they call them cannons. They still on the high end shit. Why would I steal that old broke ass lady down there? I ain't no rogue.
Yeah, I heard that.
If I'm gonna steal something, I want something big.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, I want to get it from a motherfucker that got insurance.
I heard that. Yeah. You
know, so I can go use it for my benefit, and insurance is gonna take care of them. Them dirty motherfuckers need to pay somebody something. All these goddamn premiums and shit.
Right.
And they don't want to do a payout when the time come to pay.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting on big coffers of money, fuck that. We set our family banks up. We have our own family insurance company.
That's right.
Motherfucker.
That's right.
You know? Yeah. That's why New Orleans that big ass boot for ass kicking.
That's right.
Michigan is the right hand for slapping them motherfuckers across the face for thinking we was dumb.
Heard that.
I just talk with a country accent sometimes. I ain't really motherfucking slow. Country accent don't equal slow, motherfucker. It just means that we speak the wrong language.
Right.
So I drag your ass up yonder, leave you parked out bitch side that motherfucking log over there. Lawman might find you if you can make it to the road again. I'm just saying. You got to know the land. You got to know the layout. You have to understand how your people move.
That's right.
And then they go, he one of the chiefs. I know who the fuck he is talking like that talk.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you know what it is. Now give me my fried chicken and cornbread and leave me alone.
I heard that, big bro.
So great.
I heard that.
Yes.
Man.
Look, my most prominent past life memory overlap multiple past lives is one of my favorite memories. It happened over and over again. Go to Big Mama house. I'm a little boy. She go in the kitchen. She pulled the cloth off the bowl, and one bowl got squares of cornbread, and the other bowl got fried chicken legs.
Yes, indeed.
Both of them hot. But they keep them out there for the people coming passing through, because Big Mama gonna make sure you eat something before you leave.
Oh, that's right.
And we ain't have what we call candy stores. right? We didn't have snacks like that, like
Right.
and shit. So we fuck some cornbread up all day long.
You know that's right.
You know,
My great grandmother would boil some corn at 10 o'clock at night. And that'd be your snack. And you gonna take the husk off and everything and boil the corn.
we pull the husk back like a popsicle stick, roll it around in the butter.
Man.
Oh yeah.
You better tell somebody.
Big Mom be like, "Don't you spill that butter on my floor." I just got done mopping.
So me and my wife was had this question too, bro. And I know this is a little bit off the beaten path for you. But back in the day, I don't care when you went by Big Mama house, she gonna whip up. First of all, the house gonna be immaculate, right? Then, if you hungry, she gonna go in there and have something already fixed.
All the time.
And you gonna love what she have fixed already.
Yeah, cause
No microwave, no nothing.
No nothing.
Big Mama has 50 motherfuckers coming through there every hour. What the fuck?
You know, I never thought about it from that
That's
aspect.
true.
Thank you for that enlightenment.
She always got a new pot of something cooking when something just got done. So when people come, they eat all that shit up and something for the next person.
Right.
But everybody used to go out to Big Mama Farm and help her put the food up. And she got 15 aunties in the back, snapping peas, shucking corn, cutting corn off the cob for the fried corn meals. Got the motherfuckers milling the corn, all that shit going on in the Big Mama backyard.
Yeah, you're right.
So then they came over, turned them into concentration camps for POWs. They took mama name out of Big Mama house. They just called it the Big House.
I heard that.
Oh,
Like
okay.
it's stupid to see what the fuck you doing.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
You can't hand me my coat and tell me you gave me something.
Right.
That's true.
Right.
Motherfucker, it's already my coat. What the fuck?
Right.
It's already my coat.
Right.
Yeah, but they had all that going on. And the uncles, they be out there fixing on, well, back then they were fixing on different stuff, horse carriages in the South. So, it ain't like we couldn't make power motherfucking vehicles. It's just that it was more compatible and equitable for the land for us, the horse and the carriage.
Right.
We had electrical shit. The first cars was made by us, and they was electrical, and we only would use them to go far distances. Why I don't understand why they got to keep charging these cars up when back then we had electrical cars that would run for months before you need to charge.
Wow. Yeah.
And sometimes with the chargers, all you got to do is put water in your motherfucking battery. You're supposed to produce, as long as some water in that, as long as that liquid is keeping that conduction going, you're supposed to have electricity.
Yeah.
You know, some shit called a lithium battery. That's not smart.
No.
Not sustainable.
You took some real simple shit and made it complicated so you could get more money for it.
That's what it all go back to. That's what it all go back to. That's why the plan is such and everything, because they took all the technology that was compatible with the mother, they corrupted it, bastardized it just to monetize it.
Yep. But that's all right.
It's all right.
Because as Tupac say, back for everything they own, no longer oppressed. So now we overthrow those that placed us in this rotten mess. It's a wrap for their ass.
You're right.
I love it.
Yeah, you're right.
I love it.
It's a great time to be alive, my brother.
It's
It's
a
a great
great
time to be alive.
Great
I don't care
time.
what they keep pumping up through that propaganda. You know, they just pumping that fear. But if they try so hard to get that fear into you, that the opposite got to be,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? The opposite got to be, because they're spending too much money to make you afraid.
Right.
That whole World Trade Center stuff was to slow everything down. There was a mass trauma.
No doubt about it.
Definitely.
No doubt about
People
it.
starting to wake up. Hurry up, traumatize them. Fly plane into the building. But that was really knock 3 on the Scottish Rite telling us that we only got a certain amount of time before they try to make their move to take over.
I heard that. I heard that.
Because the first one was the first World Trade Center in 91. Then it was the Federal Building in 94, 95. And then it was the 9/11. Three knocks.
Yeah.
Right. And then when the third knock, they stole a couple billion tons of gold from under the World Trade Center.
Yeah.
That's why they had to blow that motherfucker up.
Wow.
Because of the amount of wealth. It was the George Bush family. George Herbert Walker Bush ordered that. Every president between him and Trump, he owned them.
I heard that.
Trump refused to report to him, and the electorate knew that it was coming to close of the age. But before Trump could take power, they had to get rid of Bush. Because Bush was running the CIA, and they had secret intelligence connections around the world.
Mm-hmm.
And he was the highest ranked member of the invaders that came over here on this part of the land. He came in as a press guy, but he became a Bush. Right? They came in as bankers, but the old man press guy told him to go into the intelligence community. You say, because that's the only way he was going to be able to sink his fingers deep enough in to the society to take it over. So the Skull and Bones was the ones that was backing him, and them was the pirates.
Okay.
Conquistadors.
Yeah.
Spanish Moorish. Yeah. So them the ones who was the power source behind his operation. They thought because we went into a Kali Yuga to do the 200-year Kanja War, that they were just going to be able to do what they want.
Right.
But the mind of man can never circumscribe the mind of God.
Hell no.
So why they sitting there thinking they going to go to war with God, them some silly motherfuckers.
Right.
You're going to never be Big Mama no matter how you try it. Because she got a boy for every last one of you motherfuckers to put you back in your place.
That's right.
No matter where you come from, no matter how big and bad you think your ass is, one of her boys gonna step up to the plate and find the problem.
Right.
And when we don't know what the problem is, we're gonna all pick a different part of the problem to try to fix. According to what we already know.
Right. Right.
I'm just got a habit of putting together the puzzles and got a habit of reading the culture.
I heard that.
Right? Nerd life, y'all know the rules, gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. No doubt about it.
You know, so I just paid attention to shit most motherfuckers don't pay attention to. My monkey man, he was playing monkey in the middle and I was catching the key.
Yeah, I heard that, bro. But your recall is amazing. I mean, that's God level, no doubt about it.
For sure.
I mean, there's consuming information, there's comprehending the information that you consume, then there's recalling that information at the appropriate time.
Right.
And beyond thought, my brother. I mean, it's
amazing.
They always say we not from monkeys. Ain't nobody never said we was from monkeys. I said that the Anunnaki called us.
See, there they go.
They can't even get the information right.
Right.
I said the Anunnaki called us monkeys, and that's why our priest was called monks.
But then he took that little bit of miss part they heard and ran the whole other gamut with it. You heard me?
Yeah, he got his own. He heard what he wanted to hear instead of what
Right.
I said.
Right. But that's okay. Everybody ain't supposed to come.
That motherfucker probably looked just like a goddamn ape in the face. Talking about we say monkeys. He probably looked more like a monkey than everybody else.
He was feeling some type of way. You ain't talking about my people, nigga. You ain't talking about my people.
Hey, these motherfuckers don't know what they be doing. They just be talking outside of their neck. That should be funny to me sometimes. I be like, what were these motherfuckers? Run up on me. Yeah, he got his banana in the tailpipe.
There you go.
There you go. The brain is the tailpipe that's clogged up. He don't even know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we used to have corn festivals. Corn dishes from all over the land. I remember I got to be the judge one time. Well, I ate so much corn, I thought I was gonna grow out the motherfucking stalk.
Man, you better not say nothing bad about no corn with these grits. All the grits I done ate my life, man. You better not say nothing bad about no corn.
Oh yeah, shit! I fuck some grits up too with some eggs.
Ooh, I can get up right now and go fix some grits and eggs. What you talking about?
Well, I remember waking up early on Sunday mornings, and Big Mama be cooking or Mama be cooking, and you can smell that cooking in the kitchen.
What you mean?
Sunday
morning, yeah.
Yeah, grits and sugar. Don't forget the butter.
Oh yes.
Yeah, bro. But you know, down south, I ain't never heard of sugar and grits until I went north. Now, I think I was sure the first time I heard of sugar and grits, and I'm looking at them like they crazy. What you mean, sugar and your grits?
You know, before Gerber came out, the babies used to eat pot liquor and grits, pot liquor and cornbread.
Wow. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I heard that. Pot liquor and different kinds of breads. They make it, mash it up, feed it to the little babies. I remember all that shit like it was yesterday.
I heard that. Yeah, man.
I used to sugar and butter on rice. I got that from India though, from one of my lives over there.
What's that?
Butter and sugar on rice.
Butter, sugar, and rice. I heard that. Now we eat eggs and rice too now.
Yeah, when I was a baby, that was my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I past life from. They got a meal they make in India that's similar to that.
Oh, okay.
But it's made with ghee butter, sugar, and then they got some kind of like little spice, a little hint of spice in it. Yeah. When I was little, I used to remember it because I used to always be asking for it. But they used to give me butter, sugar, and put it in my rice when I be asking for it. Because they didn't know what the hell I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about, but they didn't know what I was talking about. So I used to be testing with I'd be like, I want the rice with the butter and the sugar. But they use I think they might use honey over there.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, but it was sweet rice with a little bit of spice to it. It was made in India.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Wow, good to know.
Man, oh man.
That milk toast, you put the cornbread in the milk too. Put cornbread in milk.
No.
Cornbread. Yeah, cornbread and buttermilk.
Okay.
I bet that's what my grandmother would have ate. I bet she would have ate that.
Yeah. My father ate that up to the end. He ate all that shit. That was his thing.
Yeah.
Cornbread and buttermilk. He didn't like a lot of sweets. You know, so he eat that cornbread and buttermilk is with a good touch of sugar in it.
Yeah.
So it ain't so tart. Yeah. We messed that up too. When I was little, we used to eat cornbread and buttermilk. All that stuff that's carryover culture that we genetically remember, but we don't be knowing where we get it from.
Right.
These children come out asking for stuff that you ain't never cooked, and you want to know why in the hell is they asking for that? They remember it from past lives.
Yes. Yes.
You know, and then it's like taking a comfort food.
Right.
You know? Right. I wouldn't eat beets when I was little, but I'll fuck some beets up right now. But it's a sympathetic connection with my mother. The ones who used to try to figure the problem out instead of going out in the streets marching, I ain't finna do that. Not for my own shit. I'm not finna be out here buck dancing for these people. Not for my own shit. Mama had to leave me a means to find what's rightfully ours and how to recover it. And one of the things she kept saying to me was always look for the wisdom. Right? And so understanding that, I searched through the minds of great thinkers in order to find out what is this stuff they call wisdom. Because if I can't buy it in a bottle, I got to find it somewhere. I'm thinking this as a child. So if I can't find it in a bottle, where am I find it at? Right? So the discovery comes in is you find the wisdom at the feet of the masters, right? The first master is mama. So starting from mama, who says the stuff that gives you the best result when applied to life? And this, as a child, made me pay attention to the elder women. And the elder women was the ones, especially the ones that talk harsh and use profanity. We call them big mamas. They harvest the energy of prime creator in order to be guides to the family. Under the patriarchal system, we've been taught to call them old bitches and don't pay them no attention. And they telling us the solution to all of the world's problems, but we ain't listening as a collective. Some of us do. Some of us know if mama say don't go down that street, something bad gonna happen, go the other way. Because if you go down that street, you're gonna walk right into the BS. I did it 1,000 times because I learned the hard way every time. And the hard lesson is the lesson that you're gonna learn and gonna internalize the deepest. Because it's gonna hurt the most that you keep going through the same foolishness. But when you wise up, that's gonna become entrenched in you as your biggest lessons, the ones that was hardest to learn. And the hardest lesson to learn was at the feet of the masters is to follow the voice of the women who give wise guidance. And you can tell the difference by the character of the women, right? So when I see you on here complain about them calling Noble Drew Ali a false prophet, some in my soul say you can't just let that go. You got to say something. So I said something. A lot of the Moors is like, what is this thing? Where did he come from? I thought he hated all the Moors. I keep telling them over and over, I'm not anti-Moor, I'm anti-dirty Moor. So I started studying great people because I didn't really know what a master was. But the great people's information, they give references to other great people who turns out to be masters, right? And in our community, each one teach one, we all got to reach some. And if we reach enough, we can spread the information. Now, the land, the Mississippian rule, this is deep culture, organic North America. Any culture that comes on the land, we have to have a significant influence on it through the arts and the entertainment. So we can use these things in the time of crisis to communicate the recovery from the oppression or whatever adverse force overtakes us on the land. Now we have to time the solution in order to correctly end the problem. So in the course of the studies, when you run across Marcus Garvey, Noble Drew Ali, Prince Hall, David Walker, Booker T. Washington, W.E.B. Du Bois, you don't look at them in their conflicts, you look at them in their agreements, right? So they tell us that Du Bois and Garvey don't get along because Garvey is what you call a totalitarian recovery expert. In other words, he come to recover the whole of the original structures from its original source out of the Blue Lodge, where Du Bois comes from a different angle or perspective of view. He said that only a 10%, what we call the talented 10th, will ever do anything of significance to rise to positions of prominence in any society. Therefore, we should focus on isolating that talented 10th and maximizing the input in the bank, right? Now we go from the talented 10th to a 5%er, right? Because all of the talented 10th is not working in the interest of the collective. Most of them is working in their own self-interest. We don't care about that. You can work in your self-interest, but you have to leave an indelible impression that can be read by future generations to leave a blueprint or a pattern to put the puzzle pieces together on how to recover from the condition, right? So the 5%ers teach that 85% of the people blind, deaf, and dumb and don't know what's going on. And 10% of the people know what's going on and they're not doing nothing about it. But there's 5% of the people that know what's going on, that's working to raise the other 85% to awareness to overcome the tyranny of the 1% who was extracted from the 10%. So the 1%ers is what they call the people that's ruling the world as elites. Has a system at play, and if we figure out their system, we can reverse engineer the society in order to find out how to get back to our rights and our ability to reclaim the land based on our birthright to the land at the close of the age. Most of us don't know that it's a universal law that we are obligated by universal law, the organics of the world, at the close of every age, no matter what's going on, to shut it all down. Anything that is destructive to the ends of the collective is dispensed with, and anything found to be a benefit is used as a bridge to the next coming age. So now we leave in the age of Pisces, the water age of believing, to the air age of Aquarius. But remember, the Aquarian man carries a picture of water that's being spilled. Water is the symbol for spirit. So what it's telling you is we going from spiritually believing stuff with no information to support why we believe it to the mental aspect of spiritually knowing exactly what we see in the Aquarian age. So earlier I was saying about we had to be able to see the signs significantly enough in order to know when to make our move. Now, I came out to do this work when I came home from prison back in 2008. But everybody I went to shut the door in my face. They all said that I ain't have no degrees. I ain't had no alphabets behind my name. Therefore, I wasn't qualified. Right? But not until Farrakhan gave a speech and Khalid Muhammad left and he said, "You think I didn't need a brilliant mind like Khalid Muhammad?" Well, Khalid, my man. I'm just like that motherfucker, but I think a little deeper, right? Everything he be saying, I feel that way, but it's one problem. He was trying to go against the rules. He was trying to fight the enemy in the physical when it's a spiritual war taking place, right? You can't fight a physical war that's spiritual. You have to fight the spiritual side and let the effects manifest in the physical arena. In this case, we use universal law weaponized to fight tyranny and oppression around the world. And after you go through the dark night of the soul, you begin to see the pattern in which universal laws apply. And this is where me learning the functions, structure, and intricacies of civics and the changing of rulership in past historical contexts in both hostile situations such as a coup d'etat to more amicable transformations such as a king seceding from the throne and another king ascending in his place. There is a civics solution to the problem. Well, the first time I became aware that there was a civics solution to the problem is when Noble Drew Ali said that I started a civics organization. The contradiction that made me raise an eyebrow is ask, why are they patterning it now as if it's a religion? Right? So that took me back to Albert Pike's The Morals and the Dogma. Because under the civics, there's no dogma involved because you're unraveling the legalese. But if you can get them to chase the dogma, they won't really take the civics serious enough in order to exercise a superior jurisdiction to overthrow the imposters on the land, because the only way you can do it is to go back to your original system. Your original system is a matriarchal system based off the oral decree of the chieftains in agreement across the land, that which benefits the most amount of people from each of the clans.
Wouldn't there be a necessity really to go back to the original system? In doing that, wouldn't there be a necessity of shedding ourselves or divorcing ourselves of all the religious attachments, the dogma that we've taken on to be, Christians and to be, this denomination, that, I mean, from a standpoint of when we realize that those things were actually put in place to put us under subjection.
Right.
So
So the
would we have to
religious,
shed those in order to get back to the original?
at this point of the discovery process for the collective, they can use whatever path of spiritual development they choose to, as long as they don't turn a blind eye to the other paths, right? And this is where the polarization comes out, as Noble Drew Ali called it, as a religious controversy. We are, remember, we are allelopathic, and we are naturopathic first, right? That means that all things have to go back to a stasis, which is the state of balance, right? So when you abruptly tell somebody who's been in the church for 75 years, hey, drop that some garbage, the shock to their system could cause a healing crisis to a significant degree to make them lose their mind. If you go back to Elijah Muhammad, he said if you wake them up too soon, you're driving crazy. And that's why he used to keep saying, make it plain enough for a baby to understand it.
So
Right.
what are we trying to get folks that are steeped in any level of dogma to understand? You know, from what my where I come from, having been a pastor for 10 years, and seeing the good and the ugly. You see it all, and in between.
Okay, so
but,
let's use.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying indoctrination, and like you mentioned earlier, 12-step program, and the various, all of these things were things that affects the mind of people. Fear, reverence, so that you don't think outside the box. Having to reverence something that is unseen while ignoring the obvious inside of yourself. All of those things to me have been designed to not allow us to get back to the natural. I mean, you're saying, I know, and I do know what you mean about not waking up folks too soon. I mean, or not all of a sudden. Although for my personal awakening, it hit me like a ton of bricks when I was in a service, and all of a sudden I was snatched out of it in an out of body experience. And the next day, I'm up in the pulpit preaching my swan song, because right after that, everybody's going, because now I'm like you say, crazy. They say about you, I was crazy. But for me, maybe that was the way it had to happen. But for the masses, to get critical mass, and nothing really happens, I don't think, until you get enough minds thinking the same. So in your going through, I want to go back to your dark night of the soul before you get too forward, because you kind of skipped over. You said, when I came out of prison in 2008. But what about those years prior to 2008? How about the time when you were, you ended up apparently veering from what Big Mama was saying, because you were running off, maybe you were running from your calling. But in that captured, if you will, situation, what happened to you there? What were you doing during those times?
So when I first got caught up and locked up, I remember the voice of the sisters that I used to hear give words of wisdom. I was in Cook County Jail. I was in there. I was like on my second or third day in there, and a bald-headed guy named Hawk came with a sister. I can't remember her name, and they were actually Christians, but she wasn't coming with the dogma. She was coming with raw common sense. And one of the things she said that stuck with me. And she said, some of y'all finna get a lot of time. She said, but don't worry about that. You can't stop that. Put yourself in. There is no escape, even if you want to. She said, but the best thing that you can do is don't let them take the time from you. Use the time. Learn everything you can while you in there. You don't need no degree, but get your PhD. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, that makes so much sense. So this, if I apply this to my prison term, if I get time out of this, and I apply what she's saying, when I get out of prison, I can have the knowledge of a professor at a university in the amount of time that I'm about to get, that I don't know I'm about to get this much time. Right. And so in the end, they gave me 18 to 50 years in prison. Right. And during my my Cook County stint, well, that was like a year and a half, I end up coming across, I just started realizing that all of the most potent members of our community, the organic indigenous people, was in these cages. Right. And I got introduced by different ones, by different people. Like the leader of the Maniac Disciples, name is Ferg. I met my cousin introduced me to him on our way to court. Right. Then in the bullpen, it was some BGs, black, what they call black gangsters, that was high ranking, and he introduced me to them. Right. I had a vice lord introduced me to Willie Lord. And it was kind of odd to me when he done that, because we walking through the day room, he calling me over there where his chief at, to introduce me to his chief. But he told me beforehand, he said, man, I want to introduce you to Willie Lord. Right. And I was like, okay. And because we was watching him on the news get arrested. And when he got in there, he was downstairs in a cell block called ABO in Division 1. So he came up on a visit. They brought him up to A1 where I was at. And so Lil J, who was a 4-star elite vice lord, he said, come here, man, I want you to meet somebody. And he walked over, he said, stay right here. So I'm standing on the other side of the day room, and he went and said a couple words to Willie Lord, and he waved me over there. He said, hey, Lord, I want you to meet him, man. And he told me who I was. His name Rod. And back then, I was studying with a Nation of Islam guy named Everett X, who was teaching me about, now this is all within the first year of being locked up. But he was teaching me Nation of Islam doctrine. And they was calling me Rod X. Right? But they was calling me that like a nickname because I hang out with the Nation of Islam guy all the time. But they all knew that I was under the GD banner. And so when he introduced me to Willie Lord, the whole day room stopped talking and they looking. And what he said caught my attention. He said, hey, Lord, this one right here, this the one. I don't know what that shit means. Right? And he shook my hand and he says, it's good to meet you, young brother. He said, stay on the straight and narrow. That's all he said. He didn't give me no conversation. We didn't go into nothing. We just greeted each other, but he told me to stay on the straight and narrow. I know what that means from church, and I know what that means from Everett. And we discussed it. Right? Staying on the straight and narrow means walk straight. Right? Don't let these people push you off your path. Now, when Everett X had to leave, he went upstate, and the last thing I told him, I was like, man, this is a big deal. I don't know if I could do it. He looked at me, and I could see the Elijah Muhammad in his face when he started smiling. He said, oh, you got this. And then he recited the story of Hiram Abiff. And he said, you're going to need that later. And then I heard Farrakhan go over the story of Hiram Abiff. Right? And when I started studying the story, after I got out of prison, I started seeing certain events unfolding that was unnerving to me, because this was starting to tell me there's a Masonic connection to my birthright. So now I have to study the lodges deeper than I already have, because I was going through a secret society investigation while I was studying with the Nubians in prison. So I was going through each secret society, reading entire text on them, where Malachi had a book out called Secret Societies Unmasked, where he got a little part about all of them. So I started to get books from their perspective about their doctrine. Right? But it became more enhanced when I came home. Right? And so during the course of these years, normally my temperament, I would have been I would, what they call ready to ride. I was always ready to ride, but it had to be one condition. I got to be right. The only reason why I feel like that is because my mama used to tell me when I was little that don't start nothing and you're going to always win it. You got to always be in the right. So I don't start nothing, but I sure finish it. I don't got no problem finishing it. And I remember my father saying that a man always moves straight. He said, man, don't do all that funny, swervy, shifty stuff. That's not how he was talking to his friends in our garage. So this was one of my lessons on being a man from my father that really impacted my life, because I always came at people straight. And mama said, respect those who respect you. But you got to give respect to get respect. That means if I'm at your house, in order for me to get respect at your house, I got to first give you respect. I got to come in peace in order to receive peace and the blessing upon arrival. So everywhere I went, I held that in the forefront of my mind. And everybody that I met them from a level of respect, and it was returned. And this is why, as a GD, I'm over in Motown on 50th in May, living in the complex in the All-Stone neighborhood. The only folks is on 50th place, right? So I gave them their respect because that's their land. I already know to honor them on their land and give them their due respect. And they drew an attachment to me from being respectable and being respectful of their place. So I ran into a couple of confrontations with some of the Stones, but it was always resolved in a manner of respect. So I didn't ever have a problem with Stones and Vice Lords being Stones and Vice Lords. I didn't never see them as enemies because I knew we had the same enemies. So I didn't know how to categorize what I'm looking at, but I know that whoever it is that's infiltrating Stones and Vice Lords is the same people infiltrating the GDs. I understand the literature of the GDs, and I understand the literature that I was given by Vice Lords, and I understand the literature that I was given orally by Stones and Crips and Bloods. And I'm seeing a pattern that this is the behavior that's ancient on the land. If this behavior is ancient on the land, I got to see it somewhere else. Here, lo and behold, it emerges. It's the structure of the Nation of Islam. It's the structure of the 5% nation. It's the structure of Yahweh ben Yahweh's Hebrew Israelites. It's a repeating pattern. It's a tribal structure from the top to the bottom. How we used to perform in the old ways where we was in all parts of the land, but we never had conflicts with people on their portion of the land. Because we understood that who we are is predicated up on honoring those in respect when you in their house. You can't come in somebody's house and just superimpose your will. So whoever the imposter is the ones who came in our house and is doing what we don't normally do.
Makes sense.
So when I started tracing it back, I end up with the 32-degree Scottish Rite, Morals and Dogma, George Washington, Albert Pike, the guy that started the Illuminati, Adam Weishaupt. 3 different personas of the same person. But most people can't see the pattern. I couldn't see the pattern originally until I was studying forensic profiling in the mechanics of it. And I wanted to do a forensic profile on the biblical God character, which turned out horrible, by the way. Turned out horrible. Turns out that he's a sociopathic narcissist, early bedwetter, who has mama issues and daddy issues and don't know his own identity and sexuality, who feels that he should be held in superiority to other people just because who he is, where other people become less than him. This biblical God character can't be no God. He got to be some kind of mortal masquerading as a God through written literature. Because that's not the characteristics of the God form. So that came from a Q&A that I had in Saginaw Correctional Facility with some University of Michigan psychologists who came to do a lecture at the prison. And during the course of the lecture, I had asked them, had anybody done a psychological evaluation of the biblical God character, because I couldn't find it. And they assured me that as far as they knew, one of them had like 35 years in psychiatry and psychology. One was a psychologist for over 45 years. The other one was a psychiatrist for over 40 years. And none of them had heard of anybody having the audacity to do a psychological profile in the since it became known on this character from the Bible.
Now, with
always would listen to you, how you would say, you know, it's time to take the kids out of school. So I literally finally did that. It was such a struggle. So I'm just like waiting now, and just having that freedom of being able to talk to my kids and let them know what's going on and getting them prepared, things like that.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't know what's going on, so they really can't tell their children. You know, so they just gonna run into a lot of stuff in the blind.
Right.
How the babies like being home instead of going to class?
Oh, they love it. They love it. My son is 11, my daughter's 6, but they are very in tuned and like they understand. Look, come say hi to Uncle Rod. They was like, Mom, are you gonna go live? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go live. I'm gonna request. Come say hi. Don't say hi.
Come say hi. Don't be shy. Hey, how you doing? Look at you. You're so cute.
Oh, what do you say?
Yeah, she's kind of shy still.
Yeah. Look, my son just sitting here with his mouth open. Jay, say hi. Say hi.
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Yeah, so I've been explaining to them how, you know, a lot of things are changing and things are shifting, and they are really they're interested in it and they're in tune and they have their own, you know, input and things like that. But I'm just like, the more I look at things, like it just seems like a never ending nightmare sometimes. I'm just like, why can't people just see how if we just all come together and like just think on one accord, like it feels like it would just push it forward, you know, and it'll be like a bigger change. I don't know. Because I'm literally just sitting here just
So the last thing we looking to see is we looking for the people, IAT, to do a Sweetwater return ceremony. That means that they got the message, they understand the mission, and they take care of their part of the business.
mhm.
So they got a Corps Army engineers on standby to go and help clean up in the city of Port-au-Prince, where they got trash damn near waist deep. They're gonna come
Mm,
through with bulldozers and clean all that shit up.
mm.
But while they doing that, the people of the land, the natives, the organic people to the land, are going to be having festival gatherings and giving out care packages to everybody that come through there.
Oh, okay.
And
So,
then the people that's the leadership is going to have to structure it where we can get supplies out into the thickets too, because you got people that live back in the sticks. They don't fuck with the regular people in the city.
mhm, mhm. Did you ever figure out if they were having a celebration in Brazil? or what was going on there?
I don't know. Okay, so that the way that the war conjure is working is looking like to me, everybody is flipping signs saying, go Haiti, go Haiti. Because all of these ceremonies and these like sports events with all this yellow, that's because they giving the Oshun not the okay.
Oh, okay.
So when Haiti get the message, they do their ceremony and it turn this shit into Mardi Gras everywhere.
Oh, wow. Looking forward to that.
Me too. It's gonna be everywhere. That's why they was talking about the wall.
Mhm.
Because when the kings don't hit the land, you're not gonna be able to stop them people from crossing the border. They coming.
Right. Right.
It's now in our history when we have this happen before, they always try to stop the people from coming from the north to the south and coming from the south to the north. They always tried to stop that. That's part of the process when you closing out the age.
Right.
Right? So you pushing against the forces of nature, and then forces of nature push back harder. That move the energy in the direction it's supposed to go.
Right. Mm.
Yeah. So we know what we're looking for.
Mhm.
We just gotta now do what we can to get the. I did a documentary to give a detailed description of what's going on energetically and what it has to do with Haiti around the world, because the Haitians sent soldiers to fight in the Gullah Wars that was riding that revolutionary energy.
Mm.
So when they had to close it out in Florida first, and now Haiti have to call the ocean Sweetwaters back, which caused back the people who opened the conjure to begin with state recognition. We know who they are now.
Mhm.
So they can get their honors once they do their ceremony down there to call Oshun, which is also calling them back to get their honors. That's what changes all of the energy.
Mm. Okay. So there's nothing in particular, like there's no like seconds, like there's no